In 2003, music executive and Compton native Marion Knight Jr., better known as Suge Knight, appeared on an episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. As a little joke, Jimmy Kimmel came out in a bulletproof vest, poking fun at Suge's notorious gang-affiliated lifestyle, as well as the fact that he had just gotten released from prison. Suge, Kimmel, and the rest of the audience laughed it off, as it was nothing more than a harmless joke. This joke, however, had a disturbing amount of truth and validity to it, as years later, Suge would be accused of murdering the legendary hip-hop artist Eazy-E. I am here to say that these accusations are more than valid, and Suge is indeed guilty of murdering Eazy-E. Eazy-E, also known as Eric Wright, was killed unjustly, and Suge must be held accountable. As a forensic scientist, I can assure you that Suge is deserving of any oncoming punishments he may face. Suge's background and persona, his complications and conflicts with Eazy-E, as well as the suspicious contraction of AIDS from Eazy-E, all point to the fact that Suge is guilty. Suge's lifestyle and public figure points to some interesting aspects about Eazy's death. Suge simply had a reputation for violent activities with gangs, enemies, and other business partners. Suge was nationally, let alone locally, known to participate in shady practices both with gang and music businesses, such as threatening and or jumping artists and witnesses. In a recent trial based on charges separate from the Eazy incident, the court cited 26 different incidents of Suge allegedly violently intimidating other individuals, according to a Daily Beast article in 2017 by Jen Yamato. He also joked about lethal HIV injections on Jimmy Kimmel's show, such as when he directly mentioned a new efficient way that gang members murder others by injecting them with AIDS, saying it was, quote, an Eazy-E thing. While this may seem unreliable or coincidental, it still at least cements the fact that Suge is aware of the practice and nods to the fact that he may have insight as to how Eazy died. Suge was also recently convicted of manslaughter by vehicle and is definitely capable and experienced in murder, so there is no reason that Eazy should be counted as an odd one out. Of course, these bits of information together in and of themselves can't sufficiently accuse Suge of murder, but it eliminates any doubt that Suge isn't at least capable of committing such an act. Suge notably had some deep financial disputes with Ruthless Records and the owner Jerry Heller, according to a News One article by Lake and Sterling in 2015. These disputes and their circumstances have kind of been muddled over the years, but they essentially led to Suge wanting Heller and the rest of the NWA group to want to join Suge's label, Death Row, but that roster shift never really happened except for Dr. Dre, which led to more tensions. Suge threatened many people close to Eazy as well. Dr. Dre was allegedly threatened on multiple occasions many years apart, such as in the late 90s when Suge intimidated him after Dre wanted to start his own label, Aftermath Entertainment, and even recently when he threatened many people on the set of the Straight Outta Compton movie for misrepresenting himself in the movie. According to Heller and others close to Eazy, Suge and his crew allegedly jumped Eazy as an intimidation method to join Death Row. Not only could this have been the incident where Eazy was infected with AIDS, but it also shows that Suge had no hesitation when it came to harming Eazy in order to get what he wanted to improve his image. In general, Suge, Eazy, and others related to the inner conflicts were not on very good terms at the time of Eazy's death, so it's not fair to rule them out of the picture. And whether or not Suge killing Eazy was a means of getting revenge to Eazy directly or threatening the people close to him, either possibility is logical. And finally, Eazy had AIDS that eventually led to his death. Just like Suge had joked about in the interview, he did indeed die from AIDS, and not even a month after his diagnosis, Eazy had passed away from his complications. Eazy had a quick escalation of illness, moving from HIV to AIDS noticeably fast. This dynamic of his illness was what moved many to believe that Eazy's health had been tampered with. While most patients move from HIV to AIDS in a period of about 5 to 10 years, Eazy's condition had deteriorated in a matter of months. This only happens in very extreme cases, such as when a patient is directly injected with HIV/AIDS, such as Suge is suspected of doing. According to a Heisnabiety article from Alec Bank in 2019, Easy had apparently been the fathers of 7 kids and 6 different women before his wife. None of these women, including his wife, or any of the children, had tested positive for HIV, and no other past lovers of Easy had ever come out to claim that they were HIV positive either. To this day, the exact cause of Easy's death, in terms of how he received AIDS, is still largely unknown. This is direct evidence of the possibility of Easy's health being tampered with, and Suge is a prime suspect. It is almost certain that Suge was responsible for the death of Eazy-E. Eazy's early and unfair passing should not be forgotten, and Suge should be held accountable. Suge's notorious actions and persona, poor relationship with Eazy, and the medical circumstances of Eazy's death all point to the fact that Suge was the killer. Looking back, Jimmy Kimmel's interview was nothing to laugh about. Suge is a dangerous man to be taken seriously, and he should face the proper consequences.